What's up everybody and welcome back to another movie review, and today I'll be taking a look at A Quiet Place Part 2, the sequel to the 2018 smash hit directed by John Krasinski. For those of you who don't know, the A Quiet Place movies take place in a post-apocalyptic world where the human race is on the brink of extinction thanks to the arrival of vicious extraterrestrial creatures who, while blind, have incredibly advanced hearing which they use to hunt their prey. We follow the Abbot family as they try to survive in this world by making sure to make as little noise as possible. Now, before I go any further, I just want to warn everyone that I will be going over some spoilers in this, so if you haven't seen either of these movies, I suggest you go watch them both and then come back. Okay, back to the review. Right from the get-go, this movie had me hooked as it opens with a flashback sequence of day one of this whole catastrophe, which gives us some insight into what exactly these creatures are and where they came from. But it doesn't explicitly say what the creatures are, since these movies tend to tell their stories with visuals rather than exposition. The film then picks up almost immediately after the events of the first movie, as the Abbots are forced to abandon their home on the farm and venture out into the world. Along the way, they come across an old family friend and discover there might still be more survivors left after all. The first movie was an incredibly tense, suspenseful, and very well-directed movie, so needless to say, A Quiet Place 2 definitely had a lot to live up to. But I can happily say that A Quiet Place Part 2 is definitely worth the watch. This movie is fantastic. The cinematography is brilliant, it is just as suspenseful, if not more than the first one, and the actors do a fantastic job. Emily Blunt is great, Cillian Murphy is great, and the child actors Noah Jupe and Millicent Simmons also do a great job. I also want to say that this movie, as well as the first movie, have just absolutely incredible effects. These creatures are some of the scariest, convincing, and most creatively designed CGI monsters that I've seen in a while. Also, the cinematography in this movie is great. This is a beautifully shot, visually stimulating movie that I'm very glad I got to see in the theater. I think it was wise to hold off on releasing this movie until after theaters reopen, because this is definitely the kind of movie that is best experienced in a theater and on the big screen. As far as complaints go for this movie, I don't really have a whole lot because, well, this movie's just that good. But if I really had to nitpick, then I'd say two things. The first thing is, I wish we gotten more flashbacks to the whole beginning stages of this disaster thing, and just like the one we got at the beginning of the movie. And the one at the beginning is really good, and it's probably my favorite part of this whole movie. But still, even watching the trailers, I thought that we would get more and more flashbacks. But no, we just got the one. It's not really that big of a problem, I guess, but I was still a little bit disappointed. Okay, the second thing is the ending. And I can't really bash this movie too hard for having an abrupt ending, because the first movie had a really abrupt ending too. But, I don't know, I think they could have done with one more scene added on. Maybe two, I don't know, but still, those are as far as complaints go. This is still a very, very good movie. All in all, I think John Krasinski did a fantastic job with A Quiet Place Part 2. And if you haven't seen it, or the first movie, I highly recommend checking them out, as they are definitely both worth watching. Well, that wraps up my review of A Quiet Place Part 2. If you like what you saw, don't forget to hit the like button, and please consider subscribing to my channel. I'll try to get more movie reviews out to you guys as soon as possible, so until then, my name is Riley, and I'll see you next time.